But first, the hot topic of the hour. While the Trump administration is putting the focus on the here and now with affordability, Democrats are setting their sights on next year, already spending big to engage minority voters and those in rural areas, which saw a swing toward the GOP in 2024. The Our Power, Our Country effort costing the DCCs upwards of 8 figures, according to Politico, to increase favorable messaging for Democrats surrounding the cost of living. President Trump, meanwhile, is continuing to tout his administration's work on bringing prices down. He did so yesterday during the turkey pardoning. Watch.
We're also making incredible strides to make America affordable again. Walmart announced that the cost of their standard Thanksgiving meal is 25% lower than just 1 year ago. According to the USDA, the price of Thanksgiving turkey is down 33% from its Biden-era highs. Potatoes are down 13%. Ham is down 15% compared to last Thanksgiving. So we are down to a level that we haven't seen in a long time.
And I spoke with National Council Economic Director Kevin Hassett, now the front runner for the Fed job. We spoke all about it Sunday. Watch.
We 100% get it. And one of the ways you can think about it, Maria, is that because of inflation and the 4% increase in mortgage rates for the typical home buyer, the mortgage rate, the monthly payment went from about $1,200 to about $2,500 during the Biden administration. And so if you add up the increase in the price of groceries, the 21% that you mentioned, that means that a typical ordinary family had to spend $25,000 more every year just to cover the Biden inflation. And President Trump is closing the gap on that fast. We've got, no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, a big reduction in the deficit, so the macroeconomic effect of inflation is going down as well, and potentially new leadership at the Fed, which is going to cut interest rates. But there's all above approach on affordability, but we understand why people feel like they haven't caught up yet because of the huge hole that was dug by Joe Biden.
Adam Johnson, Ashley Davis, great to see you both this morning. Weigh in here, Adam, because, all of a sudden this buzzword of affordability has the Democrats scrambling to do what they can to make it look like they're doing everything for affordability. This was President Trump's priority when he walked in the Oval Office, because we were looking at 40-year highs under Joe Biden of inflation.
Well, not only was it his priority, he actually did something about it. I mean, think about this, Maria. With oil down in the 50s, and by the way, I think that's why he's pushing so hard for peace between Russia and Ukraine, because you can bring more Russian oil onto the market. That lowers the price of oil. The price of gasoline is the lowest we've seen in several years. That's wonderful news. He just talked to us about the cost of a Thanksgiving dinner. That's lower than we've seen in a long time. So it's working. But the one thing that he hasn't yet been able to accomplish is lower interest rates. And lower interest rates helps everybody for so many reasons, from a mortgage to a home equity loan to a car loan, you name it. And we got to get interest rates lower. He's working on that. I think Kevin Hassett certainly wants to go that route. But that's the last sort of remaining piece of the puzzle that we need to see to bring affordability near to where it needs to be, Maria.
Absolutely. This is now becoming the election issue of 26, Ashley.
Absolutely. And I really do think, Maria, and this is something I keep saying over the last couple of weeks, really since the election with the 2 governors that the Republicans lost, because everyone's now saying, oh my gosh, the Republicans are in such a bad place, affordability, we haven't done anything. That's not, first of all, we're a year away. 2, the president has done so much in the last 11 months, not only on foreign policy, domestic policy, tariffs. I mean, we could go on and on, but a lot of this stuff hasn't kicked in again. Even all the policies, as Kevin said, on the big, beautiful bill in regards to tax on tips, that still hasn't been able to affect the economy as it should. No. So all of those things will start happening. We have some time. We're going to have, meaning the Republicans will have just as much money as the Democrats will to run our programs as things get closer to the election. So everyone just needs to wait a little bit, and the president's doing everything he can.
Yeah, I mean, the big, beautiful bill and all the tax changes to the tax code will hit in January. Right. That's when the big, beautiful bill will hit. So that's going to be a whole, certainly, tailwind for the Republicans. Meanwhile, President Trump honoring the White House's Thanksgiving tradition of pardoning turkeys before Thanksgiving tomorrow. But he offered some true Trump humor while doing so. Watch this.
Sleepy Joe Biden. He used an auto pen last year for the turkey's pardon. So I have the official duty to determine, and I have determined that last year's turkey pardons are totally invalid. Null and void. The turkeys known as Peach and Blossom last year have been located, and they were on their way to be processed. But I have stopped that journey, and I am officially pardoning them, and they will not be served for Thanksgiving dinner. The turkeys being pardoned today go by the names of Gobble and Waddle. I was going to call them Chuck and Nancy. But then I realized I wouldn't be pardoning them. I would never pardon those two people. Gobble, I just want to tell you this, very important. You are hereby unconditionally pardoned.
Oh my gosh.
Ashley, that was so funny. Cracks me up.
Absolutely. Obviously, he is the master at messaging, bringing in the auto pen. But also, I don't know if you saw Caroline Levitt's little boy yesterday playing with one of them. I think it was Wobble. And he just, I guess, they were like playing like playmates. It was very adorable.
So funny. Chuck and Nancy. All right, we're just getting started this morning. We've got a lot coming up. Markets this morning, once again, in uncharted territory.